flash behind the camera and maybe a third one off to the side, and we're working outside, it's really hard for the flash here to spit out an infrared signal that goes to an open field and have that flash behind me see it. What we have to do is we have to convert that into radio waves. So instead of using little bursts of light to communicate between those flashes, I prefer to use radio waves. Well, why don't you just get one of the infrared transmitters? Well, hang on, I got them too. This is the Nikon version. Now, those of you who know the type of work that I do, I'm more of a commercial photographer than I am a portrait photographer, but I do my fair share of portrait-y type of works. I'm more of a Nikon guy than I am a Canon guy. Now, we do have both, and I'm very comfortable with both. Today, I'm showing you the equipment that I actually use, and in fact, you'll notice sometimes you'll see a big blue dot here. That blue paint dot is not on the little Nikon transmitter. In fact, that's actually a little paint dot that you'll see on some of my gear through the program that marks that it's my personal gear and that the rest of the crew here makes sure that it goes right back to where it's supposed to go, right? I'm a little picky about where my equipment is. Well, this is the basic Nikon. It's an SU800 transmitter. It's also called a Commander. It has an infrared system on it that is more powerful and a little more omnidirectional than the built-in ones into your flash. And does this do a better job? Yes, it does. Is it something that we can use outside with any sort of confidence? Not in the slightest. Why? Once again, infrared. Infrared is a problem in big spaces. Infrared is a problem when we go outdoors. I'm a professional photographer, and with that comes the confidence that a client says, Will, we need you to come on in. The mayor is going to show up at 8:15. We need you to pop off 15, 20, 30 different pictures of him shaking hands with everybody before he gets to the podium. We need every one of those people. We need 2 or 3 shots of those. That means I have to have those flashes trigger every time. I cannot accept less than 100% trigger rates. That way, I don't use the infrared system at all, guys. I play around with it. Let's get better solutions. Here's one of the things that we're going to have to face as professional photographers. At some point, when we buy into tools that we want to use to make great pictures, we have to make hard decisions. Here's one of them. Are you going to use wireless TTL, or are you not going to use wireless TTL in your business? And that's a fair question. There are some photographers that want to use wireless TTL, others that don't. I prefer both. I have these are my systems. There's a few loan items here, but most of this is really my gear. I like all this stuff. It works very well. Different situations call for different equipment. I'm spoiled, granted. I have all this gear. That's great. There's a lot of people who don't have that luxury, and I completely understand. That's why I'm making such a valiant point to say, you've got to make a decision. Do you want wireless TTL or not? If you are confused on TTL, what it is, how it does, what you can use it for, do me a favor, hop in the download section of Friday Photo School. There's one called Taming TTL that is kind of the benchmark on what is TTL, what works, how to set it up, how it doesn't work, and how to make really good pictures both indoors and out with it. So that's one excellent resource for you, because we're going to start off with non-TTL triggers. These will trigger your little shoe flashes, but they won't trigger them in TTL. Don't you love live TV? They won't trigger them in TTL mode. So I can hook any of these I can up to this flash, but only some of them will work in wireless TTL mode. First up, we've got a handful of our recommended flash triggers.